I knew something was wrong the moment the water stopped feeling like water. It's hard to explain unless you've felt it. When the ocean no longer feels like a space you're moving through, but something closing around you. Every motion took more effort. Every breath felt heavier than the last, like the water itself was growing impatient with me. I checked my surroundings and felt my stomach drop. I couldn't see the surface, not even a hint of light, just darkness in every direction, deep and absolute, pressing in from all sides. I turned slowly, my light shaking in my hand, but the beam barely cut through the black before vanishing. That's when my breathing started to go wrong. Too fast, too shallow. I tried to slow it down, told myself I was fine, that panic was the real enemy. But my body didn't care. My chest burned, my thoughts fragmented, each second stretched unnaturally long. Then I felt it. A gentle tug at first, almost polite. Something brushing against me from below. I froze. I didn't want to look down. Every instinct screamed not to, but I did anyway. The light caught movement, slow, deliberate, rising from beneath me, not rushing, not attacking, just approaching, as if it knew there was no need to hurry. My vision tunneled, my ears rang. I kicked upward, desperately, but the water fought me harder now. Each movement felt delayed, like I was trapped in thick gel instead of the ocean. Then the pressure hit. It wasn't physical pain at first, it was confusion, a crushing sense that my body no longer understood where it was. My limbs felt distant, my hands didn't respond the way they should. I tried to orient myself, but my mind refused to cooperate. Up, down, left, right. None of it meant anything anymore. The darkness moved closer. I could feel it now, not touching me exactly, but crowding me, filling the space where escape should have been. I became aware of my own heartbeat pounding violently, irregularly, like it was about to tear itself apart. That's when my light flickered. Once, twice, and then nothing. Total blackness. I don't remember making a sound, but I remember the feeling of screaming inside my own head. The sensation of being watched intensified, crushing, and intimate, like something was studying me in that final moment. I genuinely believed that was it, that I was about to disappear into that darkness and never exist again. And then, hands, rough, shaking hands grabbed me from behind, yanking me upward so hard it hurt. Light exploded into my vision. Sound returned in a violent rush. My body convulsed as I was dragged toward the surface, my thoughts shattering into static. I don't remember breaking through the water. I woke up later, coughing violently, surrounded by frantic voices and blinding daylight. They kept repeating my name like they were afraid I'd forget it. They told me I was lucky. They told me I'd been moments from dying. But here's the part I don't tell anyone. When they pulled me up, when the darkness finally released me, I felt something let go, not of my body, but of something else, something I didn't know how to name. Ever since that day, I feel lighter, hollow. Sometimes when it's quiet, I feel that same pressure return, subtle, familiar. And in my dreams, I'm still down there, suspended in the dark, while something waits patiently below. Because I don't think it tried to kill me. I think it just wanted to see how close it could get before I stopped being human. I told myself it would be quick. That's what I kept repeating as the boat engine faded into the distance and the water swallowed every sound except my own breathing. At first, everything felt calm, too calm. The kind of calm that feels staged, like the world is holding its breath. The water was darker than I expected, even though it was still early. Sunlight barely reached where I was drifting, breaking into thin, shaking lines that disappeared the deeper I went. I remember checking my surroundings and realizing something unsettling. There was no reference point anymore, no surface above me that I could clearly see, no clear bottom below, just water in every direction, thick and heavy, pressing in. That's when the silence changed. It wasn't quiet anymore. It felt occupied. I don't know how long I was down there when I noticed the sound, a low, distant vibration. At first, I thought it was just my own pulse echoing in my ears, but it was too slow, too deliberate. It felt like something moving far away and getting closer. I turned slowly, careful not to panic, but all I saw was darkness folding in on itself. My light didn't help much. It felt like shining it into smoke. The beam disappeared after a few feet, swallowed whole. Then I saw the shape. Not clearly, not enough to identify it, just a massive absence of light, drifting where nothing should have been. It wasn't rushing. It didn't need to. It moved with the confidence of something that knew I couldn't go anywhere. That's when I realized something was wrong with me. My breathing wasn't matching my movements anymore. Each breath felt delayed, like my body was lagging behind my thoughts. I tried to orient myself, but the sense of direction was gone. Up didn't feel like up. Down didn't feel like down. I spun once, just once, and instantly regretted it. The world tilted. The darkness rotated. My stomach dropped as panic rushed in, sharp and uncontrollable. I reached out instinctively, grabbing at nothing. The water felt thicker now, resisting every movement, as if it didn't want to let me go. The shape was closer. Still no details, just presence. I wanted to scream, but the sound never left me. It stayed trapped in my chest, vibrating uselessly. My heart was pounding so hard I was sure it would burst. And then, the light died. Complete darkness. No gradual fade, just gone. I don't remember much after that. I remember the cold intensifying, my thoughts breaking into fragments, and the overwhelming certainty that I was not alone anymore. They found me hours later, drifting far from where I should have been. I survived, that's what everyone says. But sometimes, when it's quiet at night, I can still feel the pressure, and I swear I can hear that slow vibration again, like something deep below is still waiting for me to come back. The wreck wasn't on any official maps. That should have been my first warning. I found it by accident while drifting farther than planned. At first, it looked like a shadow lying wrong against the seafloor, too straight, too deliberate. As I got closer, the shape resolved into rusted metal, broken railings, and a hull torn open like something had peeled it apart. I hesitated at the opening. The water around the wreck felt colder, heavier. My light flickered when I aimed it inside, revealing a narrow passage choked with debris and hanging cables. I told myself I wouldn't go far, just a look. The moment I crossed inside, the outside world vanished. The water became still in a way that felt unnatural, like the wreck absorbed movement and sound. My light swept over walls covered with growth that looked disturbingly organic, pulsing slightly as if reacting to me. Then, I heard it. A metallic tap. It echoed faintly through the corridor. I froze, light locked in place, waiting. After a few seconds of nothing, I convinced myself it was just debris shifting. Then it happened again. Closer. I backed up slowly, careful not to stir the wire, when my light caught something that made my stomach drop. A handprint in the silt on the floor. It was fresh. I stared at it, trying to make sense of what I was seeing. The wreck was old, decades old. Nothing should have disturbed that silt. Behind me, something brushed past my leg. I kicked instinctively and turned, heart hammering so hard it hurt. My light caught nothing, but the water was moving now, swirling in tight, deliberate patterns. I wasn't alone. I don't know what was in that wreck. I never saw a face, never saw a body, but I felt it circling me, moving just out of reach of my light, always behind. When I finally bolted for the exit, the wreck seemed to resist me. Cables snagged, walls felt closer, the opening looked smaller than it had before. As I burst back into open water, I didn't stop until my lungs burned and my thoughts shattered. I never went back, but sometimes I wonder if I was ever meant to leave at all. The scariest part wasn't the darkness. It was the moment I realized up didn't exist anymore. I had been drifting for what felt like minutes when the light from the surface completely disappeared. The water around me felt uniform, no current, no pull, no sense of movement. I tried to orient myself using bubbles, but they didn't behave the way I expected. They drifted sideways, then vanished into the dark. That's when panic crept in. I moved slowly, trying not to make it worse, but every direction felt wrong. My body told me one thing, my eyes another. The disconnect made me dizzy, disoriented, afraid to move at all. Then I noticed something terrifying. The darkness wasn't empty. It was layered. Shadows moved independent of my light, sliding against each other like living things. I turned in place, heart racing, convinced something was watching me try to escape. I started seeing shapes, tall vertical forms that disappeared when I focused on them. My mind began filling in details that weren't there. Faces, movement, intent. I don't know how long I was drifting like that. Time stopped meaning anything. Every breath felt louder than the last, every movement slower. When I finally felt something solid beneath me, I almost cried. I clung to it, shaking, until help arrived. They told me later I had been spinning in place for most of it, never actually going anywhere. But I know what I felt, and I know something down there enjoyed watching me realize how small and lost I was.